How's it going, guys? Today is March 25th, 4:01 p.m. here on the East Coast. Um, so I wanted to do today's vlog on um, don't underestimate your talents. It was at work yesterday. I was at work yesterday, and as I'm going through my normal work day, it started to get a little bit busier than normal, and we had a party of 30 or so people come in, mix of kids and adults celebrating a birthday. And I was already helping out behind the bar, so I had to come out from behind the bar to help out, take a couple different tables. And then that party of 30 or so approached, and I decided to take that. I hadn't taken a table that big ever. And it was pretty exciting to talk about the overall experience, taking that many people, having so many different things going on. I remember they ordered probably over, I think it was 33 appetizers they ordered, and then probably 15 different entrees, drinks, and the whole nine. Um, but I was trying to do it to help out the server that we have there. I help her out whenever it does get a little bit busier. And she was kind of taking the entire front end of the business, so I decided to take the inside portion. Don't know if I bit off more than I could chew prior to making the decision, but I decided to roll with it. As the day progressed, day turned into night. They were still there. They had a good time. Had cake and everything you could possibly imagine when it came to having food, drinks, appetizers, desserts, everything. Um, the whole different courses that go along with eating. So as we're there, as I'm there trying to keep a hold of everything. I had another fellow employee there helping me out, set up everything, and making sure we were trying to stay on top of everything. And then the kitchen staff was trying to pump out food as quick as they could. On top of our regular people, we had that giant party, and it just got a little overwhelming in the kitchen as well. But I noticed on an individual effort, although it was overall goals of a success of a team that kind of came together, worked together, and cooperated together in order to make that happen. Like it wasn't just me, but um, I wanted to do it to help the other server out, one, and then two, do it to challenge myself in a way that I hadn't been challenged on that server level before. So um, to kind of sum it all up, it was a very eye-opening experience. Time flew by. I remember they got in probably around 8 and didn't leave till probably, let's say, 11 or so. And that entire time, um, I was helping them, kind of made sure I was there, and tried to stay on top of things as best as I could and keeping up with it, to make sure that they were happy all the way around. And it was really a good time that I ended up having. Time ended up flying. The challenge was ridiculous, but it did keep me on my toes, and it made time fly by. And they ended up tipping really well, which was, I guess, a reflection of our service, the team service effort, um, which we ended up sharing in the tips amongst even the cooks got a piece of it, as well as the bar people and servers, and even the dishwasher that we had working was distributed some, just because it was a team effort to make it happen. But it was a good overall experience, and it kind of made me realize that sometimes I underestimate myself and my potential, my capabilities, and what I think I can handle versus what I can handle. And whenever I do decide to challenge myself in those times, is when I realize that I'm capable of so much more than you think. And I think I've touched on this before, but I think the military, I can't remember what the exact rule is, but it's something like a 60-40 rule or 70-30 rule or something like that, to where we give about um, 60% of our effort or 70% of our effort sometimes But it isn't until we're challenged in these other times where we actually give the other 30% or 40% of our effort and utilize our maximum potential, maximum effort, um, unless it's challenged or called upon. So I found that kind of interesting, and a way to estimate yourself is that we're always underestimating our potential. We're never really overestimating it. And then I think we should change that mindset to try to do things that challenge you. Try to do things that you think you can't do, and sometimes you'll be surprised with the outcomes, like I was yesterday. I didn't think I'd had the capabilities to do it, but I structured it in a way to make it a little bit easy for me to handle. And not to mention the people who I was helping really did. They were great customers. I mean, they really didn't complain about much. They were gracious to us. They appreciated what we did for them, and I appreciated what they did for us. So it was a mutual benefactor there, which I appreciated all the way around. So that's what I want to talk to you about, my experience yesterday and dealing with that. And you can't underestimate yourself. Um, I know it's hard to say it, but really the best way to do it is to challenge yourself whenever you do see an opportunity. Try and challenge yourself in a way that's beneficial. Um, and sometimes, I mean, the biggest table I'd taken prior to that was maybe um, four people before, and that's obviously small in the realm of serving or average, as however you may look at it. But whenever you jump from 4 to 30, and you take those leaps and bounds, what is it? Roughly 7 times what I would normally take. Um, it was just it was a good challenge for me, but at the end of the day, I was getting asked some questions about from my coworkers, what I thought about the experience, and I said, it was interesting, it was challenging, and it really made time fly. It was exciting. That's kind of the way I described it. To stay on top of things, and then to have the kitchen in my ear on one side, asking me what they had put out, and then me trying to keep track of those things, and then having the customer there trying to keep up with their demands and their requests, um, and the service that I was trying to uphold. Um, and then I remember I took a table right before them that was a two people, and they had said something to me that kind of stuck with me, saying that I'm one of the nicest people that they've ever met, and I didn't do anything out of the ordinary. I didn't. I acted very much like myself, kind of quiet, conservative, and just treated them with respect. But it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. And for them to tell me that, it really meant a lot to me. On a small caliber, it was just you're talking about two people, and I was really happy with that comment, and it kind of just set the tone for the day that day. And then when I had to take on a larger, much larger table, um, they were pretty happy and content with the service that they were receiving as well. And it reflected when it was time to take care of the bill, so to speak. So I was really, really happy all the way around with the events that took place yesterday, the challenges that I kind of put myself into, and not only to mention the server thought, or the other server there thought that I had almost earned my stripes when it came to serving. I kind of pulled my weight. Most of the time, she handles everything since I'm the acting bartender, and then I'll come from behind the bar, and the manager will step in behind the bar if it gets a little crazy on the serving side. So it was interesting to hear those comments from her as well, because she's like the lead server there. So hearing those comments from her really made me feel appreciated more than the words that I received yesterday were much nicer than anything else, any monetary contributions I received yesterday. The words is kind of what resonated with me, and then the work and the efforts and the tips that I made were all just an addition to those words that it just made it feel better. So that'll be it for today's vlog. Again, I appreciate you guys watching, liking, commenting, subscribing. I'm up to 51 subscribers as of this morning, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And I will see you guys on the next one.